a world where speed is king, where horses are counted by the hundreds, where engineering and art are one, and where Honda designers seem to have channeled the spirits of high performance. This is the world of the Honda Pilot.
Okay. So the Honda Pilot's not exactly an exotic car, but that's all right. You can't drive an exotic every day. You gotta go to the grocery store, you gotta go to work, you gotta take the kids to school. And for that, the first generation Honda Pilot was always a good choice. But in the past couple of years, the competition's caught up to it and in a lot of ways past that first generation vehicle. Hi, I'm Keith Buglewitz, and I'm here with the all-new second generation Honda Pilot. With a new luxurious trim level and a host of features that are sure to keep crossover buyers happy, Honda hopes that this is a vehicle that'll keep it at the top of the crossover heap. Let's take a look. At first glance, the Pilot's transformation isn't overwhelming, but it's not supposed to be. It is supposed to be practical. So rather than smoothing out the lines and giving the Pilot a wagon-like look, Honda designers embraced the boxy shape and even exaggerated it. We think it looks pretty good. When you move inside, the driver's area is set up pretty well. It's spacious and nicely laid out, and Honda's done a really good job balancing between making it nice enough for drivers to be comfortable and feel good about the vehicle, but not making it so luxurious that they'll worry their kids are going to ruin it. The interior on the new Pilot is really comfortable. The seats are really well padded. You have softly padded elbow rests here and here on the door, and then also the top of the door, even though it's hard plastic, it's slightly rubberized, so if you rest your elbow up here, it's still comfortable. On the first generation Pilot, the shift lever was up here on the column. This time, it's down here on the dash. This does a couple of things. Number one, it gets it off of the column, which no one really liked. And instead of putting it here, where a lot of manufacturers do, having it up here on the dash opens up this whole area here for additional storage. One thing that I'm not real fond of, though, is the center stack. A lot of Hondas are like this lately, where there's just a lot of buttons. I think that if they could use knobs for some of these controls, like the temperature control or the fan speed, it would really help to declutter that area. But overall, it's a well-designed interior. Second row passengers don't have to worry about space. I'm more than 6 feet tall. I have plenty of headroom, plenty of knee and leg room, plenty of shoulder and elbow room. No problems at all. It's easy to get into the rear seat too. Flip this handle up, the seat slides forward, and there's plenty of space back there, even for taller guys, as long as it's not a real long trip. And one of the reasons you're probably thinking about a crossover is utility. Unfortunately, a lot of manufacturers shortchange you on cargo room behind this third row of seats. Now Honda doesn't. They already have a pretty good sized cargo area back here. But if you need to carry even more, they've come up with a solution for that too. You just open up the floor, and this just hooks on here to hold it. And then you have this net here that you hang up, and basically it acts like a shelf. You can put more stuff on top of here. It can hold about 22 pounds. And you basically doubled your cargo space. And for the large stuff, you can fold down some or all of the seats. How's this for space? Once you're loaded up, you need to get down the road, and that won't be a problem. The new Pilot has 250 horsepower. Now, on paper, that's down a little bit compared to some of its competitors, but you don't really notice it. It's fine. You push the gas, the car goes. Plenty of power in any situation, and the 5-speed transmission shifts quickly and smoothly. Honda's done a really good job on ride quality with the new Pilot. They struck a really good compromise. On the highway, it tracks straight and true. The steering is very nicely weighted. If you take a Pilot up onto a twisty mountain road, it's not going to disappoint, but it's not exactly going to thrill you either. This is no sports car, and Honda doesn't pretend that it is. But it doesn't embarrass itself either. Honda's done a lot of work in giving the Pilot a small turning circle and making it easy to maneuver in tight quarters. And they've done a pretty good job. This is probably one of the most easily maneuvered big crossovers that we've driven. So what do we think? Well, with a host of clever standard features and the luxurious new touring trim level, we think the second generation Pilot has what it takes to stay at the top of its class. For MyRide.com, I'm Keith Buglitz. We'll see you next time.